Hey, everybody, it's Matt from Union Horror Movies, and happy Valentine's Day. So let's talk Valentine's Day horror films. I'm going to be talking mostly about films that take place like on Valentine's Day, or it's really Valentine's Day theme centered. We know there's like the main ones, which I'll talk a little bit about. But I did find some other films in my collection that take place on Valentine's Day, but not really talked about as much. So I figured it'll be a fun time to talk about some of those films. And of course, the main ones that are in the group. Now, Valentine's Day is not a holiday that it's usually a horror, but these definitely work towards that because, any holiday is fair game for horror films. No matter if it's like President's Day, Labor Day, Arbor Day, Christmas, all that kind of shit. Valentine's Day is no exception. We have some really good flicks to talk about. Let's get on with it. So the first one I picked from the group is from the Criterion, put this out from 1975. The film not a lot of people talk about is called Picnic at Hanging Rock. With Picnic at Hanging Rock takes place in the 1900s. A bunch of girls and their teachers are on a hike on this volcanic area called Hanging Rock. And pretty much on the way back, several girls and one of the teachers is missing. This is a very cool Australian film. Now, again, this takes place on Valentine's Day. It's not, of course, all hearts and shit and everything, because they didn't really have that much during that time. But Criterion did a great job releasing this film. It's based on the book. I think they redid this in a TV show or something. I'm not sure. I don't really watch a lot of streaming stuff. But let me know, guys. But Picnic at Hanging Rock is a very interesting, low budget film. I'm not going to get too much about it because I don't want to ruin the surprise of the film. Supposedly they say it's based on true events. It's not. It's all fictional. But I think this one deserves more attention. So definitely, guys, if you have Barnes & Noble, when the sale comes out, you can get Picnic at Hanging Rock on 4K, on Blu-ray, straight through the Criterion. Next up is a fun hospital-themed slasher. We're going back into the 80s. This one takes place on Valentine's Day. They actually have all the decorations and shit around. And we're on a double feature. The movie we're going to talk about is called X-Ray. Schizoid's a completely different film, but X-Ray was pretty neat. X-Ray is a hospital-themed slasher that takes place on Valentine's Day. At first, we go back in time to the 1960s. Your main character, she's a little girl. She's playing with her friend. And on the corner, there's this weird dude named Harold staring through the window. He's infatuated with her. And they find out he left her a Valentine's card. They laugh. They crumple it up. Well, Harold gets pissed. And, of course, he kills her friend. Now we fast forward to the present time, where she's now grown up. She's getting a divorce. She's got a new fiance. She goes to a hospital for random, get test results. Well, Harold is now working in this hospital, supposedly. He switches the x-rays to make her look like she has something horrible. And of course, the hospital staff starts treating her a little bit different. People start getting killed in the hospital. A lot of the hospital staff, they think she goes crazy. Yeah. Not really all. It just takes place on Valentine's Day. It's not really Valentine's Day themed, like for the rest of the films we're going to be talking about. But it is a fun slasher. Definitely people should check out. There's an interview with the director on this double feature. And again, through Scream Factory, these double features are going to be a little harder to find. So if you can get this, highly recommend picking up the Blu-ray DVD combo pack of X-Ray and Schizoid, some hospital-themed horror, and of course X-Ray on Valentine's Day. Now the next one, at first when this was on DVD, not a lot of people didn't know about this movie. Nobody talked much about it. It is another Valentine's Day themed slasher. And the movie we're talking about is called Lover's Lane. The whole man with the hook arm. Again, this has the whole premise of kids making out at a Lover's Lane type style, up in the middle of the woods, cars parked. People get murdered, and of course, the guy is captured. Later on, he escapes a mental asylum and goes after the main characters again to get his revenge and to get those ones that put him away because he's infatuated with the girls. And here's the original artwork from the DVD too, which I thought Arrow did a fun job uh, re-releasing this. The movie itself is not the greatest, but it's a fun little slasher. Again, a lot of people don't talk about this movie as much. We're going to talk about the main stuff in a minute, like the ones that really people talk about. But I think people should really check out Lover's Lane. It's got some interesting kills. It's got a lot of up and comings at the time. Now they're bigger stars in this movie. It's like when they were a lot younger, which I thought was pretty neat. Again, all takes place on Valentine's Day. The whole killer with the hook arm, that was a huge urban legend. You hear scratching on the car door and there's the hook hanging there. So they all took that into a film. Yeah, so it's even based on the urban legend, The Hook. So it's got a lot of cool special features. And again, it's got a lot of cool. What's her name? I forgot, sorry. But there's some big actresses that were starting off are in this movie. Again, I apologize. I should have did my research ahead of time on this, but I was tired and I figured, why not? We'll just put something out for you guys to watch and check out and maybe you should add to your list. But I definitely recommend checking out Lover's Lane, especially that Arrow release. All right, now we're getting into the big ones. Pretty much everyone knows these movies. There was another movie I wanted to grab, but it's on DVD. I have it in my DVD section, but it's all packaged up right now just to save room. But it's almost like a creature feature. It's called Cupid. Cupid is about a girl. She gets picked on by her classmates, and she's into witchcraft, and she summons this demon called Cupid, pretty much. And at first she thought, well, okay, she wants to get revenge on those who tormented her. Well, Cupid is real. He's a real demon going around picking people off. You can find the DVD on Amazon pretty cheap. Definitely check that one out, guys. Interesting. But anyway, let's get on to the main ones. Right off the bat, we're going to be talking, of course, probably my favorite killer, with the way he looks, of a non-franchise film, of course, is Harry Warden with My Bloody Valentine. Classic My Bloody Valentine film. The slasher's great. Takes place in, was it Valentine Bluff? That's the name of the town. It's like a little mining town that, everyone's all going to the mining facility. They're all dirty and stuff, but they're trying to have a Valentine's Day party. They all decide to party in the mine. It's a fun little slasher. Again, I love the look of Harry Warden, the way the character's designed. It's a fun little slasher. But you know what? They actually did a remake, which all everyone knows about this remake, with Jensen Ackles, who plays your main character, and this one was done in 3D. I remember seeing this in 3D when my wife and I were dating, and it was crazy. Like, shit actually flew at you and everything. It was well done. It even comes with My Bloody Valentine's Day 3D glasses. I think it says Saw on there, but yeah. Anyway, I don't like to watch 3D as much because it hurts my eyes. But the movie itself was great. I just rather watch it in regular 2D. I thought they did a great job on this remake. The remake is pretty neat. Same premise, except for your main character comes back from, because they all have a party in the mine. Harry Warden shows up. He starts hacking people left and right. You have a bunch of survivors, and Jensen Ackles there. He gets traumatized in this film, where Harry Warden's about to take him out, and the cops shoot him and take out Harry Warden. So he starts, going crazy a little bit in his head. He goes away. He decides to leave Valentine's Bluff and everyone else behind because he thinks too that they all left him. Well, they're all adults. A couple of the characters are like cops. One girl, she is a She works in a grocery store and everything. They have kids and all that shit. Well, he comes back. Well, because he wants to sell the family. He wants to sell the mine, but the mine is like the town's bread and butter. So they try, convince him not to sell the mine. This town needs this mine, and also now Harry Warden is back. He starts picking off people one at a time in some really cool ways. Some of the ways are pretty different, and yeah, they swap some of the characters around in this. So when you watch, if you've never seen these movies before, whoop, of course, me with drops. If you ever see these two movies before, they swap a couple of the characters around. They swap some things around, which is awesome. It's not a bread and butter, back and forth remake. They did change some things, which I thought was great. Like he's the main. It's from the 1981. He is the main killer in this movie. So Axel's this one, but in this one, Axel is the cop. So now he is going around, but is he the killer or is he not the killer? I'm not going to say much on that one, but I thought, again, great time. Now, did you know that they actually made, well, what you want to call it? One of those films where, a fan-made film was made based on the original My Bloody Valentine. And of course, it was a Kickstarter or an Indiegogo. I want to say Indiegogo. And it's actually called Valentine Bluff, a fan film. Same thing, it's supposed to do with the whole My Bloody Valentine. It's supposed to be a direct sequel from the original, where you're this kid who happens to be his son, supposedly. He comes back, he's got some mental issues. He's trying to figure out what is going on. Why does he want to come back to this place that he wanted to leave? And pretty much when he comes back, murders start happening. And of course, it is supposedly Harry Warden, the whole miner outfit, the whole miner and everything. It's fun. It's a fan film. It's a fan film for fans. So you really can't really ruin it because a fan made it and this is what he wanted and this is what we got. And I thought this was really well done. And of course, it plays with the whole My Bloody Valentine. They bring up a lot of the characters from the first movie in here. It's kind of hard to see the glare. So, again, this was a fan film. You could probably watch this on YouTube. So it's probably available there, but I had to get a physical copy because I like my Bloody Valentine movies. I thought they're great, and I thought this would be a great addition to the collection. Especially if people go, what the hell is Valentine Bluff? Why is Harry Warden on the cover? Because it's a fan film. Again, all takes place on Valentine's Day, and the whole rekindling of everything. I thought that was well done. Next one is another everyone knows about. I saw this in the theater back then. Of course, we were talking about the movie Valentine. Another fun slasher. Again, all these are all slashers. Pretty much this awesome looking cherub mask. This individual who's going around picking up a bunch of girls. Come to find out, we get some history. There are these girls that were pretty mean to this kid in school. He would ask him, would you like to dance? Would you have to be my Valentine? And of course, each one turns them down during this dance, and he kind of, shrugs it off. And he finally gets to this one girl, and she's like very nice to him. But she turns him down, nicely. Not like how the others are like, ew, and all that kind of crap. Well, of course, now we're into the future where now they're grown up, and now the girls are getting these weird Valentines in the mail. They're creepy, they're dark, and now their friends are starting to turn up dead. So we find out that maybe the kid that they bullied is back to pick them off one at a time. Because they do some research, they found out he was troubled. He was in a mental institution. He was in jail. He pretty much had a fucked up life. They all thought they did it to him because they kind of tormented him. Because at the school dance, after they all rejected him, later on they pulled a prank on him, and it made things even worse. So yeah, don't pick on people. So pretty much, David Boreanaz plays the main character in this, and I thought he did a good job playing who he plays. And again, the cherub looking killer is pretty cool. It's like a black coat, just this cherub looking mask. Does have a whole bow and arrow in one scene I thought was great. Then you have your knives and shit. They do the whole whodunit type thing in the movie as well. But again, this is definitely a fun one to watch during Valentine's Day. And I figured let's go with one more, and it's a brand new one from 2025. Pretty much, if Hallmark barfed up a horror film, this is what we have. And the movie we're talking about is Heart Eyes. Heart Eyes was fantastic. Right off the bat, there's a scene where they're at an orchard, and one of the girls gets killed in this like apple press. Okay, you caught my attention. Let's go, because that was an incredible death scene. Again, with Heart Eyes, it has the whole romantic comedy involved. You know, the girl and the guy goof off, and they bump into each other. They do the whole, do I really like this guy? Do I like him? He's my boss. She's my partner. They got to work together. Do they fall in love? You know, this whole weird romantic comedy stuff. Well, throw with a whole bunch of Hallmark shit in, but then we have this killer. This killer's known as the Heart Eyes Killers. Heart Eye Killer, sorry. Of course, he has heart eyes. He has this weird mask where you can see it's all red, which I thought was pretty cool. And he starts picking off couples. If they're a couple, you're dead. And of course, the body count's pretty good in this movie. I thought some of the kills were fantastic. So again, this was released last year in 2025. And of course, as soon as I saw them, like, this one's a definitely must own. So yeah, this was if you've never seen Heart Eyes, I definitely recommend checking this one out. So I figured, why not check out a romantic comedy Hallmarkian horror film, and they did well. Like, even they talk about that in the special features, because there's like interviews with the cast and crew, and they pretty much talk about that as well. So yeah, the killer's after this couple. Well, they're not really a couple, but the killer thinks they're a couple, and that's why he's going after them, which was neat, because they even say in the movie, we're not a couple. Why are you coming after us? So yeah, Heart Eyes, awesome little new slasher. Whew, I'm tired. So yeah, so I figured I'll bring up a bunch of Valentine's Day horror films for you guys to check out. If you never checked any of these out, do yourself a favor. You know, definitely watch My Bloody Valentine, the original and the remake, Valentine, and of course Heart Eyes, because they're great Valentine's-centered slashers. I think you have a great time with them. The others are great as well. For some, if you're first time watching them, you may think, okay, this is not really Valentine's Day related, but they are. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little video. Thanks for watching and sticking through the whole entire thing. Let me know, what are some of your favorite Valentine's Day horror films? Like, I wasn't going to bust out, Tales from the Crypt. There was another DVD called Holidays, where there was a small snippet film based on Valentine's Day. Like, I actually want to do full-length films. There was an Into the Dark episode on Hulu centered around Valentine's Day as well, but unfortunately that has no physical release. I wish they would put those out, because I want to check some of them out. I have a couple of them on bootleg, and they're fun movies, but I like to see the rest of them. So yeah, and I pretty much wanted to grab one centered especially around Valentine's Day. Turns out the majority of them are all slashers. But that's what it is. You gotta have your couples together, and people are getting picked off one at a time in pretty cool ways. That's how you do it. I would love to see a Valentine's Day, like creature feature, or some kind of weird thing that's not a slasher but is horror related during Valentine's Day. Who knows? Anyway, that's my little ramble. Again, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Again, let me know in the comments down below what's your favorite Valentine's Day horror film. If there's any others that I left off, like I wasn't gonna go like with the movie Spring or The Love Witch. I don't think The Love Witch takes place on Valentine's Day. It is a love-related film. Same with Spring. It's like a romantic horror creature feature movie, but I wanted them all like central during Valentine's Day. So anyway, that's it, guys. I'm rambling. Have a good one. Stay warm. We're still in February. You know me in New York. Several months to go for this winter crap, and I can't wait for it to be over. Thanks very much for watching again. Stay tuned for more. I'll try to get some reviews in for you as well. And yeah, take care and watch some horror films. Later, guys. Peace.